What's up to Lion Talk Live? We love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Duke Crew? This is Ball Hawk Ifata Malafanu of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
I love nothing more than watching Lions Talk Live every morning. Woo!
Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today, Lions Talk Live, morning show edition, and I think we've got a pretty good one for you guys today. We've got at the bottom of the hour, Easy from Woodward Sports. He's going to jump on over and join us, talk to the Duke Crew, give us his thoughts on this today's topic, which is, hey, are the Detroit Lions facing a must-win game? We're going to analyze that and see what you guys have to say. Obviously, Game 2 of the season didn't go exactly the way we wanted, but I also think everybody watching this understands nobody goes undefeated in the NFL anymore. There are 17 games and 17 opportunities to prove yourself on a weekly basis. This very young team has done some real good things that I think we're going to break it down and analyze it and do our first dive into this weekend's contest. Also, we're going to go through some power rankings, the Duke Crew power rankings, and I think it's going to be a little surprising for some fans. So we'll see what you guys have to say. Also, we've got, as you guys know, 5 headlines now. So let's get this show going. Hey, real quick, though, before we do, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We're about, 55, 60 subs, somewhere in that range, away from hitting 8,000 subscribers. So if you could help out with that, that would be most welcomed and great. Also, if you're enjoying the video, the content on the channel, everything we do here, go ahead, hit that like button, the thumbs up button, whatever button, because it helps the channel a lot. We try to get every video to 200 to 300 or more thumbs ups or likes. So, all right, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get over to the first topic of the day. And as you guys know, that's 5 headlines now. All right, 5 headlines now. A couple of things that came out yesterday. So you guys may have already heard some of this stuff, but I didn't really want to do a new video on it. I didn't think there was anything that groundbreaking with it. Don't panic over the early season loss. Detroit Lions have been here before. This is from the Detroit Free Press, story by Dave Burkett. As you guys know, last year, Lions were in a similar situation as this, as they have for most of the time they've been with MCDC. They've had some real opportunities to go 2-0 or whatever. It hasn't happened. But at the end of the day, here's what we can say. Last year, did the season work out for us? I would say by most accounts, yes. We could all debate, hey, the NFC title game should have done this or that, whatever. I'm not here to do that. I'm just here to say, look where we got last year. Now, the year before that, obviously, we were within a stone's throw of making the playoffs. If the Seattle Seahawks would have lost to the LA Rams, you know what? We would have made the playoffs then too. The Lions do have a challenging schedule. Nobody's doubting that. But I also think that challenging schedule may actually help us. As long as we stay healthy, this team will have seen a gauntlet of tough games between now and the end of the regular season, setting up the postseason. That's a real opportunity for a lot of these younger players to develop, especially in the secondary. So we'll talk about that a little bit later, but let's get on to the next topic. All right, Detroit Lions hosting a watch party at Ford Field for the Dallas Cowboys game. This is from CBS Sports News, and yes, the Lions have announced this as well, confirmed it. If you are in the Metro Detroit area, or really if you're anywhere and just want to go over to Ford Field to watch the Lions versus Dallas Cowboys, you can do so. You can get in there, and the tickets aren't too bad from my understanding. So you might want to dive into that, hang out with jam-packed Ford Field for everybody watching, and the Lions cheering them on against the Dallas Cowboys. And we're going to all hope that game doesn't come down to a 2-point play. All right, the New York Giants are signing veteran kicker Greg Joseph to their active roster from the Detroit Lions practice squad. This is per his agent and Tesla Sports. So Lions, as you guys may recall, about a week or so ago, did sign a veteran kicker, Greg Joseph, to the practice squad. There were a couple of reasons why they added a veteran to the squad. They did have a free spot, but that has since now opened up another free spot as Joseph has departed for the New York Football Giants. All right, Lions urged to sign arch rivals former safety. This is from the Heavy, story by Dave Holcomb. And by the way, the player is Rudy Ford. Lions have had a few injuries, as we're all aware, in the secondary. Iffy Melifonwu, I think personally, he's closer to the return to the field than not, but he has not been out there since the Kansas City game. You guys all know this in the preseason. I think personally, Rudy Ford, while he would probably not be a bad player, I just don't see him coming in and impacting the Detroit Lions. At least that's my take on it. You guys can have your own, and if so, let me know in the comment sections. All right, and then last of the 5 headlines now, Detroit Lions might have uncovered their new secret cannon. Jake Bates, the Detroit Free Press, is on this story. And let's face it, Jake Bates, there were a lot of people questioning him, wondering about him in the preseason. We heard all sorts of stuff, how he was hitting 2,000-yard away field goals or whatever, just insane shots. And then he would have a week where, he just couldn't hit an extra point. And then another week, he would look awesome. And then another week, kind of wondering about this kid. Whatever it is, so far this season, the kid's been perfect. His kickoffs have been great. His field goals, obviously, that and the extra points, he can't complain about it. He's been all over it. So far this season, I'm going to say the early returns on Jake Bates have been fairly good. All right, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the next topic of the day, and that is going to be the Do Crew Power Rankings. All right, Duke Crew Power Rankings, let's get into it. And we're not going to spend all day on this one, so we're just going to power through this. We'll go from, usually we go from worst to first, so let's just go ahead and scroll on down. Hold on. Hold on. Again, having some issues here. All right, number 32, Carolina Panthers. And you guys all get it. They are the worst team in football right now. Why they're making a move at the quarterback position. Denver Broncos, sort of like the Panthers, young quarterback position. They're sticking with their guy. They're moving forward, and I think that's the right move. Tennessee Titans, 0-2. I'm a little surprised by that because I thought their defense would be better. All right, number 29, the New York Football Giants, who just got our kicker. Las Vegas Raiders at 1-1. I really debated this one because, as you guys know, the 70% of the league is 1-1 right now. I actually thought moving up a little higher in the rankings, but in order to do that, you got to move somebody else down. 27, New England Patriots. 26, the Washington Commanders. And man, after what we did to the Bucs, as far as really limiting that offense, that needs to say something because how bad is Washington's defense that they gave up, a gajillion touchdowns to them. All right, 25, the Jacksonville Jaguars at 0-2. Yeah, if they don't get things right pretty quick, they may be cleaning out a lot of people from that organization, cleaning up the house. 24, Cleveland Browns. 23, I struggled with this one because I thought they played so well against us, but the Los Angeles Rams, I had to drop them quite a bit after getting waxed by the Cardinals. But let's also be fair. Once you took Cooper Kupp out it looks like he might be out the next 2 months or so. Los Angeles Rams are in some trouble now with both of their primary receivers gone. 22, Indianapolis Colts. 21, Miami Dolphins. And yes, Tua Tagovailoa, or I'm just going to say Tua, with him out, man, they are in a rough spot. I'm going to get a lot of flack from probably Broski Bear or somebody else on this one, but I've got the Chicago Bears at number 20. I like a lot of things about the Bears. Caleb Williams is a rookie quarterback. He is struggling, and I think, he's going to have a whole lot of burden coming at him, a whole lot of heat coming at him in this next couple weeks if things don't improve exponentially. All right, 19, the Seattle Seahawks. 18, Atlanta Falcons. 17, Dallas Cowboys. Another team that, man, you just have to look at them and say, was it a bad week last week, or is that going to become a trend? We'll have to wait and see as far as that defense. All right, 16, the New York Jets. 15, the Arizona Cardinals. Let's face it, they can score points. This is going to be a pretty big game this weekend. Baltimore Ravens, I still have them ranked pretty high, even though they are 0-2. I've got them at 14. Cincinnati Bengals, kind of the same situation. You're splitting hairs between the Bengals and Ravens right now. Both teams are 0-2. I've got the Bengals at 13. The Chargers, probably not a big surprise how they're moving the ball, playing D, etc. This is what Jim Harbaugh does. I've got them at number 12. Pittsburgh Steelers at number 11. Philadelphia Eagles. I didn't think they looked great by any stretch of the imagination this weekend. I didn't think they looked horrible, but they've got a lot of talent. I don't think they're living up to that talent, but I still have them at number 10. Minnesota Vikings, maybe the surprise of the NFL right now. I've got them at number 9. Hey, Sam Darnold, we talked about in the preseason. This guy, this is the best opportunity he's had in his career to try to revitalize it. He's got weapons around him. He's doing a pretty good job so far. New Orleans Saints, talking about another surprise, I've got them at number 8. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, probably get some hate mail over this one, but I got them at number 7. See, San Francisco 49ers is number 6. Green Bay Packers, number 5. That was a massive win for them. I know all Lions fans, I was rooting against them. I was hoping Willis would fall down or whatever and just lay an egg. I'd hope they get ran over, but they didn't happen. Because of it, I move them up to number 5. Houston Texans, number 4. The Detroit Lions. Yes, I kept them in the top 5. Hey, I get they got some things to work on. We'll talk about that in the next segment, but I do think the Lions overall are one of the best teams in the NFL. I think they've got to figure out a few things on offense. Until they do, they're going to be susceptible to other teams and especially how they're playing overload zone defense. Buffalo Bills at number 2, and yes, that means the Kansas City Chiefs, whatever you want to say, they are the number 1 team in the NFL right now, according to the Dew Crew official Dew Crew power rankings. All right, with all that out of the way, let's get over to the main topic of the day. Main topic of the daytime. Is this a must-win game for the Detroit Lions? You're the Detroit Lions. You came out. You got an overtime win against the Rams on opening day. But as you could tell from the power rankings, and, a lot can happen from week to week in the NFL. We all get it. But the Rams have fallen off exponentially last week because they've had even more injuries. So now that win doesn't look as shining as it did just a week ago. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think we all get it. They scored 1,000,000 points against the Washington Commanders week 1. They did it against us. That's a real credit to Aaron Glenn and this defense. Yes, the secondary is graded as poorly as it could be right now. There's, as far as the cornerbacks, not the safeties. Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph are still playing at a very high level. Terrion Arnold, Carlton Davis, Meek Robinson. So far, they've been real iffy. And some of that is, yes, they need to gel. But when all that comes into play with what the rest of the defense has done, I think we can say this. That defense has got some real promise. Now we're all going to talk about the offense of the Detroit Lions. Last week, they put over 400 yards of total offense, but they just didn't score touchdowns. They figured that out. This offense will return to what it was a year ago, and I think that gives the defense a lot more flexibility to be aggressive, assertive, maybe take a few gambles here and there. My anticipation is with this, the Lions, if they can do that, they are one of the top teams in the league. This weekend's game, though, I'm going to talk to you as a coach right now. Nobody wants to lose 2 in a row. One game, hey, it's a mistake. Things happen. 2 in a row, you start developing a trend, and you start messing with people's psyches. As I'm sure everybody in the comment section knows, this week, since the Lions lost Sunday, there have been a lot of people that have jumped off the bandwagon, jumped off the train, or got on another flight out of town. They don't want to be a Lions fan anymore. So there's a lot of different aspects a coach has to face and a team faces throughout the year. You're going to have moments of greatness, other moments where the plane feels like it's crashing. So I would say this, for the Lions, the psyche, the growth, the development, to me, this is a must-win game. Is it going to end your season if you lose? No, it will not. But I would say this, you do a lot of good things from pumping this team up and solving some of the problems. If you can go out to Arizona, a team that's scoring a ton of points, they nearly beat the Buffalo Bills. They obviously destroyed the Rams, and now they're facing the Detroit Lions at home. Yes, this would be a statement game for the Detroit Lions, for Dan Campbell. If Jared Goff can get back on track, then you know what? It'd be a real strong supporting statement game for him as well. Jameson Williams, I'm going to guess most people are going to say so far this year, he's living up to the preseason hype, the billing. He's performing. But we talked about it during the live cast against Tampa Bay. You can tell some of his footwork and route running mechanics still need a lot of growth. He still rounds way too many things out, allowing DBs an opportunity to break on things. Amon-Ra St. Brown sounds like he's going to be healthy. Week 1, hey, it didn't work out well for him. Week 2, I think that's what we all have expected out of St. Brown since his time in Detroit. Sam, I am Laporta. You heard my thoughts on it yesterday and the day before. I think he's still playing hurt. I don't think he's at full strength, and that's why he's not getting separation from things. As far as the offensive line, hopefully they're a little bit more healthy this week than they were last week. Last week, I thought, a couple of them graded out well. A lot of them did not, and it showed. It gave Tampa Bay a big advantage. All right, we've got about 15 minutes until Easy from Woodward Sports jumps on. So I'm going to say this in closing on my thoughts about a must-win game. Anybody who's ever played for me in any different type of sport, I believe every game is must-win. I don't believe in, hey, this is we can afford a loss here and there, especially in a league like the NFL, where 1 week is, nearly 7%, 8% of your schedule. Some of you have to do the math on that. So I don't want to go multiple weeks without doing something strong and positive for this team. You're also in a race and now a division with the Minnesota Vikings, who are 2-0. They could very well be 3-0 after this weekend. Green Bay Packers, yes, Jordan Love, I don't anticipate will play this weekend, but it sounds like he's going to be back sooner versus later. You don't want to fall too far behind him. The Chicago Bears, I think the defense is doing very well. The special teams, and then, yes, Caleb Williams. If he doesn't get right in a hurry, there's going to be the boo birds coming out for him more and more, but I don't want to let them stick around in the conversation either. All right, Duke Crew, what say you? Let's get into it. Let me scroll to the top of the screen and get going with this. Give me a second here. All right, and away we go. All right, Michael, greetings and salutations, Duke Crew, exclamation points, Superdome, Super Bowl, one pride, woo, woo. And good morning to you too, Michael. Jason, an A to Z Sports article mentioned fixing the red zone offense would make us the best team in the NFL. I would like to see more Tim Patrick Sunday, Superdome or bust 100%. And I think you're spot on with Tim Patrick. I get there wasn't a ton of reps for him, a good amount, but I think he does a lot of good things, and especially when he gets on the same page a little bit more. Another week of understanding the offense, the defense, the offense, the routes, some of the audibles, just gives him more of an opportunity to succeed. Yes, nobody's going to know for sure if that second interception Goff throws, the deep shot over the middle where there's nobody there, it appears that maybe there was a miscommunication between Goff and Patrick, or maybe Patrick just ran the wrong route or whatever. Goff threw it to a spot he thought Patrick should be. So I think as Patrick gets more invested into the offense, his impact's going to be more noticeable. And I am hoping, Jason, that begins this weekend. I think he could be a huge plus for us. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. Pivot to victory, exclamation point. I see Super Bowl. Woo! And good morning to you too. Seems apparent to me filling Josh Reynolds' shoes is the big concern still. Can Tim Patrick be that guy? I think so. I think he can. But it also needs to show us, I think part of the reason we've played so much power I or non-3 receiver sets is the Lions don't yet have a lot of faith in that third receiver spot. So when Tim Patrick, Isaiah Williams, Khalif Raymond or whatever, I think if the Lions get more faith in them, then you'll see more and more packages with them out there. Dennis, good morning, Dan, the Duke Crew, back at you. Jesse, we've got greetings and salutations to everyone. To me, the answer is yes. Can't lose 2 straight. This fan base is already in a panic like I've never seen. Folks are bailing on the Lions left and right. It's crazy. I would agree to a certain extent. I mean, I get, hey, NFL is not like Major League Baseball or any other league or whatever. One win in this league or one loss feels vastly different than, go to an NBA game. You lose a game, it's by no means the end of the world. But because you only have 17 of these things, difference between game 1 and game 2, 2 and 3, etc., it is exponential. See, Jason, Bo Booth, I hope Tim Patrick can be that guy. Big body, tall, catch over defenders in the red zone where we have struggled, or at least free up other options. And I think he will. And hopefully as Sam Laporta gets healthier too, that will also add to the red zone. Clark, good morning. Goff needs to snap out of things and get right. You guys think Patrick will help out? Question mark. I hope he can. Yeah, I think we're all hoping so. I know I already talked about it. I think it was yesterday about Goff, so I won't do a deep dive onto that. But he's got to play better. The offensive play calling's got to be better. The offensive line, the receivers. I mean, let's just put it this way: everything on the offense has got to get better. Michael D, the Lions have not lost 2 in a row in a couple of seasons. Yeah, it's been a minute. Let's hope that continues this weekend where we don't lose 2 in a row. Big Eddie, good morning. Yeah, I've seen a lot of other chats people. A lot of other chats people are losing it. I'm like, dang. After dropping 1 L, it happens, man. People don't like losing, and they don't like losing at home. All right, Steve. Good morning, Dan and crew. I'm taking a trip to Phoenix with my boys. Watch my boys play on Sunday. Woo! Well, Steve, I hope you have a good time out there in Phoenix watching the Lions play. I think they're gonna go out there and get a win. But hey, what do you want me to say? I'm a Lions content creator and I'm a fan. So I'm gonna predict them to win because I do think they're the better team. But I would also say this: it should be a very entertaining game for you to go out and watch the boys out there. Because you know what, both teams are going to probably have to put up points to win. All right, France, good day all. I agree with that at Jason Berry, as I feel the Lions are pretty good all around. Clearly, we could have won on Sunday against a good Bucs team. We will face another test Sunday. Yeah, Kyler Murray, we get it. If you watch some highlights on him from the first couple weeks, he looks healthy for the first time in a couple seasons. He's running around. He's causing havoc. He's causing a lot of matchup problems for the defense coordinators. It's going to be interesting to me to see what Aaron Glenn does against them. Cardinals also have some pretty good receivers and some speed out there. So if you leave people on the island, if you don't tackle, somebody's doing a house call. All right, Mike the Marine Gunny. Howdy, Dan and Duke Crew. Woo, woo. And good morning to you too, Gunny. Stephanie, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. I think we are going to be just fine. What I like the most about our schedule is every week we are challenged. No easy games. We are going to grow a ton from this regular season. I think you're spot on, Steph, from a coach, coaching standpoint, me, the fact that you have to grind and your players know, the coaches know every week, man, that's a grind. That's a grind. You can't overlook anybody. I think that's going to make everybody take it up another level more and more as the season goes on. As long as you can, get some wins, as long as you can stay in the race for the division, the NFC overall, you're going to have a real opportunity to grow some of these players faster. All right, Clark, that's a fair point. At Stephanie Waller, this schedule will force a lot of growth from the younger players, 100%. And let's face it, the vast majority of this team, I'd say 70%, are 25 and under, maybe 24 and under. Jason, our schedule is difficult to be sure. Work out the kinks now, peak later. We have the pieces. I agree with that. Most Super Bowl teams, especially seem to, if they've been coached by a veteran coach and coaching staff, they seem September is more or less like the proving grounds month, and then they start moving to the real months. All right, AJ, good morning, all. At least Bates doesn't appear to be a bad pickup. Excuse me. I had my worries before. Yeah, a lot of people were talking about him at the start of the season, training camp, that, hey, what are we going to get from this guy? But so far, he's been A-okay. Michael Day, in your opinion, Ben Johnson has to get a lot better at making adjustments during the game. I would fully agree with that. And everybody else, you can have your own opinions or whatever. I think he comes in with a game plan and he sticks to his guns on that game plan. No, this is what we're going to do. It doesn't matter what the other team does or doesn't do. I always try to pay attention at the NFL level. I try to pay attention in between the quarters. So first quarter, what were you doing? In between the long stall you have between the first and the second, did you make any adjustments? And then again at halftime. In my opinion, we seem to make some adjustments at halftime, not so much in the first half, nor in the second half. And to me, that's the problem. The other team's going to go in and make adjustments at the half. And if you don't adjust to those quickly in the third quarter, you want my opinion on why the third quarter last year we struggled to score? Because it took basically a full quarter on average for Ben Johnson to figure out the adjustments the other team made at halftime, and he could not quickly make those adjustments. To a certain extent, I think he's improved. It's been 2 games. I also think he gets flustered at times when people take away his primary routes on most of his passing packages. So we'll do a deep dive on that another time. Trey, what's good all? Question mark. Yes, sir. I fully agree. I think BJ has lost some of his creative offensive play calling. Ain't putting it all on him, but I would put half of the woes on him and then another 30%. On Goff. Gotcha. And that might be fair. Goff has not looked crisp this year by any stretch of imagination. I do think some of that is because of the play calling. Another percentage of it, to be fair, I think I'd put on the offensive line, particularly Graham Glasgow. And it's nothing against him. He just looks like he's getting overpowered in my eyes. See, John, this is not a must win. It's a need to win if you are a Super Bowl contender. It's our 3rd game of the season. Yeah, that might be a fair way to put it, John. It's a need to win. So I'll go with that. That's probably well worded, my friend. Tori, I view every game as a must win. Don't walk out there if you aren't trying to win. Just my view. Okay, yeah, that's another good take too. Yeah, you've been an outstanding player, and I remember coaching you, so I would say that would be commensurate with your personality. Pat, hey, Coach Dan, don't you think they should get Gibbs more in the pass against downfield? Oh yeah. I'm surprised they haven't involved Gibbs more into different passing routes. I really thought last year they would get more involved in that. This year with the preseason, offseason, etc., I thought they would involve him more into motioning him out into different packages. They haven't done it yet. Maybe they still will, but so far, Pat, I would say this. I agree with you. Hooker time. Hey, good morning. Why didn't the Lions use Bates on the 57-yard field goal in the third, or was it the fourth quarter? I think it was the fourth quarter, and yeah, towards the earlier parts of the fourth quarter. Yeah, they had it, was it at hour 45? I thought they could have. Maybe they're just not ready to put that kind of faith in him for that kind of shot. That's the only thing I can think of, Hooker time, because if he goes out there, kicks it, hits it, man, now obviously in the last couple of drives, you have an opportunity to win it. Michael D, on one of Goff's pass interceptions, I believe Patrick ran the wrong route. Yeah, I think more and more people realize that when you watch the game film. You can see when you back it up and get the coaching film, you can see where Patrick's going, you see where the Goff's throwing, and then it looks to me like he's anticipating Patrick to cut in over the middle of the field. Obviously, he doesn't do that. He keeps going, and that's what leads to the big interception. Everybody's like, what the heck? When the interceptions happen, I try to not, slam quarterbacks until you can watch the replays and really figure out, was there a miscommunication there? Was a receiver pulled down or hooked or whatever? Like what happened on the first one to Jameson Williams. So far, really, the only interception I would readily say is on Goff would be the first one against the Rams. He's a half second or whatever you want to say late on the pass to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Yes, you could say if they played in preseason, maybe that doesn't happen. And then the last one, you're pointing out to Tim Patrick, I think that's more Tim Patrick just doesn't know all the material yet. Or at least they haven't figured out if that's an option route on a pass play and a route tree. Maybe Goff read one thing and Tim Patrick ran a different thing because he read the defense differently. Papa Noel, we may want to be thankful for our early season bye week. Yeah, there could be a lot to that, especially if we do have some newer players stepping up into roles. They have now more opportunity to figure things out. John Johnson is swinging for the fences too often, which puts our defense on the field too much. Yeah, there's some truth to that. The offense has got to score points. Bottom line, they have not scored enough points in either game. This team's got way too much talent. They've just got to figure some things out. And when you're trying to put in new offenses, new plays, new players, that takes time. And again, not to belay the point, but that's also why I would have done some of this in the preseason. All right, Michael D, yes, that did happen. Needs more reps, 100% with that. Moonscar, good morning, Duke Crew, starting lineup. Same to you, boss. How you doing? Quentin, greetings and salutations, Michael. I think you're right and I know a few have spoken about that on Patrick is going to be a big plus for us, I think. Yeah, I think he's going to end up being, I'm not going to say he's going to be better than Josh Reynolds or worse than Josh Reynolds. I think he's going to definitely help the offense. How about that? Matthew, greetings and salutations. Good morning, everyone. Superdome, Super Bowl. Woo, woo, woo. Sheila likes a woo in her fresh morning dew. You ask, you shall receive. Feels like it's been a minute since we've done one of those, so it was good to get it out there. All right, Voltron, Goff, Ben Johnson, and the offense rebounds. The secondary comes together a bit more, and we win this week! Exclamation point. Book it, Dano. I will book it. Yes, sir. I will get that handled for you. David, almost the whole league has one loss. Time to regroup and get a new winning streak going. 100% with that. You do that, and the fans will come back. Hey, I get it, man. People are fickle, and it happens, especially when it comes to the Detroit Lions. All right, so small. Yo, Coach, what would you do to get Goff and the offense moving more, scoring more? I talked about this a little bit yesterday. So my opinion, you're going to keep seeing all the compact zone defenses until you really make teams pay for it. So if it was me, I would do more, I guess you could say screen packages or pick packages against weak sides of the zone. So what does that mean? Trips formation one side, two people run routes at the primary DB on that side, force them to backpedal. The third person comes in underneath and runs a crossing pattern. So the first thing that it does with that is it forces the majority of the zone on that side to go backwards. Otherwise, you're going to let people just kill you over the top. which opens up the underneath routes, which now gives you, 3, 5, 6 yard gains fairly easily. I shouldn't say fairly easy, but you should have a high percentage of that going on. Also, if you run stints or whatever, so I've got a cornerback here, 2 guys go at him across, basically a legal screen by NFL standards. You take him out of the play, and now you can run some stuff to the sidelines or over the top of the next person, usually a linebacker. So that's at least some of the stuff I do. I think they do have to work on expanding the zones. They are not using the sidelines at all, or at least not very much, I should say, if you watch the coaching films. And that's why you're seeing so much of these zone coverages compress in between the hash marks, and it's really making it tough for any quarterback. I don't care who you are to throw in there, because you got 7 guys in about a 15 yard area just gobbling up all the routes, all the space for routes, I should say. All right, Munskar, not that a loss would doom the season in total, but for this team's identity and pride, we must stop the bleeding now. We must find a way to win. Last year's team never had back-to-back losses. Yeah, 100% with that. And yeah, I'd rather go out there and be 2-1 at the end of the day with an opportunity to be 3-1 going into the bye. Jason, 3 keys. Slow the 4th ranked rushing team in the league down, limit our turnovers, score touchdowns in the red zone. Yeah, I'd say, man, that's a winning philosophy right there. If you ask me, Jason, I'm all aboard with that. Dave, put up or shut up time. I'm down with that. Let's see. Hookadoo. Good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke Crew. One pride. We are not the Titanic Lions fans stop jumping ship. Grit. Some are, some aren't. It's you guys all know it, man. It's just how some of the fans are. So a couple more comments here, and then we'll get over to our special guest of the day. Matthew, Ben Johnson didn't get that back on track, didn't run enough, too much pistol, not enough play action, didn't pass to Gibbs until he turned the corner. All that is true. DM5, good morning, Dan of the Duke Crew. This is our next biggest test. Hopefully we get things cleaned up and play like we're supposed to. Go Lions, 100%. Well, you guys all know it. It's time to bring on our special guest today. You know him, you love him, you've seen him probably all around town. He is a man, a myth, a legend. Easy from Woodward Sports. Easy, how you doing this morning, my friend?
Good, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, always a pleasure to have on good people and good guests, man. So let's start talking about this weekend's matchup, because let's face it, it's time to move on from Tampa Bay. It's time to start focusing on Arizona. How big of a game is this for both teams?
Man, I something in me is telling me it's not as big of a game for the team right now than it is the fans. I feel like a lot of the fans got the sky is falling mentality. I think they're going to take it one game at a time. I mean, this is the NFL. This isn't college football. This isn't Michigan State versus like Prairie View. Like every team, it's any given Sunday, man. So like, I don't think they'll be freaking out as much, but I think you definitely need to win for this fan base in this spot.
So it seems like the defense so far, while it hasn't been perfect by any stretch, it seems to be better than it was the year before. Obviously Hutchinson had a monster game, but the offense, just something hasn't clicked yet with it. What do you think they need to do to get Goff, the offense, back on track, scoring points like they did last year?
Man, I watched film Tuesday and Monday as well, and there's opportunities there. I think it's Sam Laporta. I think I think they're almost overstimulated with the emergence of Jameson Williams. He's just such a threat and such a playmaker that I feel like they're trying to force the ball to him at times. They've gone away from what their identity's been. It's really just this ground and pound, open up the pass through the run game. In the press conference Monday, I think it was, Dan Campbell said that they were trying to open up the run game through the pass. I don't know if I've ever heard of that. I don't know if that's a thing. It's not Detroit Lions football. It's not Dan Campbell football. We are about biting kneecaps. We're about wearing the opponent down. It's a war of attrition, and I think we really need to find that identity of running the football again. A few missed blocks. I saw one with J-Mo. J-Mo picked up Amon-Ra St. Brown's guy. He was immediately upset, so he knew. There's one where Kevin Zeitler and Penei would go block the same guy. When Penei went to go move on to the second level, Zeitler pushed him, which you see happen, but Penei happened to fall when that happened.
Right.
So I think it's just little things of like gelling together, and I don't think we're that far. I don't think the world is falling with this offense. plenty of times Sam Laporta was open in the middle of the field. And we just kept trying to go downfield. I think you got to get back to what you do, run the ball, and get that ball in the middle of the field to your playmakers.
So I know you mentioned it, and the film does corroborate, especially against the Bucs. He did get open sometimes. We didn't give it to him. Why do you think it is that he's off to such a slow start? Do you think it is just trying to get Jameson Williams all built in, or do you think maybe Ben Johnson's lost his identity a little bit?
I think he lost his identity a little bit. I mean, I do. I think they're trying to be too fancy. And to be honest with you, I don't know if certain plays are drawn for certain players. So, like, there may be a guy open, but you don't necessarily know of his role in that play, which is to dig the defense out and sway them one way. So it's like you never really know if, a guy like Laporta is the main read, but he's been open. He was open tons of times on Sunday. And for whatever reason, Goff didn't look his way or just didn't give him the time of day. I fully expect if a novice like me can sit here and watch that and see that open up, I fully expect those guys to see the same stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes coaches, man, they just overanalyze things, make it difficult on themselves. Where the average person who's got no emotional investment sits back and goes, man, here's the easy answer. All right, so let's get back to the defense real quick. Terrion Arnold, he's been picked on a little bit. Were you expecting him to maybe have a rough start to his rookie campaign, or do you think he gets it turned around? And if so, how big of an impact can he still have on this D?
I hope he gets a turnaround, man. Be a huge impact. Because, like you said, the defense already seemed to be improved. I'm kind of curious where they're ranked in a lot of these statistics, but only 20 points allowed in the first 2 games. The Rams are looking so great, but they're a little bit healthier when we faced them. And then last week was a red-hot Tampa Bay Bucs team. Terrion let up that ugly touchdown. I felt that was on him or Kirby Joseph, that deep third in the field.
Yeah.
He's a rookie, man. It's a roll of dice, but I hope he gets it fixed or situated fairly soon.
Yeah, I agree with you on the Bucs touchdown pass, whatever, from Mayfield down the sideline. Looks like Arnold just forgot what coverage they were in. He went with man traveled instead of playing on zone. So it happens. But like you point out, it's going to happen with rookies. You got to live with the good and the bad. Now let's talk about Aiden Hutchinson. This guy's got more sacks than 18 teams in the NFL. Hutch is 24. How good of a season is this guy potentially going to have?
Man, I think it's going to be a brilliant season, and it's a testament to just him as a young player. I mean, 24 years old, you said he is? That's insane.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, even that first one where they got the strip sack, you look at Lee McNeil, if he doesn't cause a double team for both the tackle and the guard, I don't know if Aiden's that successful on that tight end stunt there, or on that stunt he did. So I think they worked well as a unit. And I mean, you got to admit, we faced some backups, but Hutch is still a dog, and other guys face backups and don't walk away with 4.5 sacks. And this Sunday, I don't know if you peeped already, they have a backup at right tackle right now. So it may be another one of those days for Aiden Hutchinson.
Aiden Hutchinson might want to, give a few thank you notes out to the other offensive line because they're helping them. Now let's talk about the Cardinals real quick. They're scoring some points. They nearly and probably should have beat the Buffalo Bills. Obviously, they slapped around the Rams. But what do you see their biggest problems that they're going to provide this Detroit Lions team?
I can't remember back if it's just this regime or it's just been forever them. But mobile quarterbacks, man. Mobile quarterbacks seem to give us a fit, and they got one. Kyler Murray, you can say what you want about his size, his height, and all that other good stuff. Kid can scamper. He's quick, and Baker Mayfield cost a few times. He was Tampa Bay's leading rusher. I think Marvin Harrison Jr., I mean, can't say for sure what he is, but he seemed to emerge in that last game. So we'll see. But I think Kyler Murray, him being mobile in the pocket, probably give us the biggest fit.
If you're AG, knowing that obviously we've struggled with mobile quarterbacks last year, Mayfield, had a couple moments against us last week where he lit us up. Obviously, the touchdown run, Rodrigo got, juked out of there. But what are you doing to limit Kyle Murray's ability to run the ball?
I'm almost making like a defensive lineman a spy if I'm not going to do it with the linebacker. That's unfortunate, too, because you got Alex Anzalone with a concussion. You don't know if he's going to be back or not. But, that's a veteran guy that would be nice to have against, a mobile Kyler Murray or tight end like Trey McBride. I don't know, man. And I'm not even like, tell me for me. I don't know if I had the answer. I feel like I might be in the NFL. I might be coaching defensive coordinators. That's just the issue with these mobile quarterbacks, man. You just don't know because it could be a pass play. The play's meant to throw the ball, and if they can't find anyone, they just tuck it and run. It's tough to do because you still have to be responsible for that pass.
Yeah, I think as Lions fans, a lot of times we just watch our games and say, man, why is it they're always running on us? But you do a look across the league, and it's not just the Detroit Lions problem. It's exacerbated because everybody watching the show watches the Detroit Lions, and maybe they watch other teams, but it is a problem for other teams and how you stop it without giving up glaring holes in your D. I think that's the tough part. All right, let's talk about the one other thing real quick. David Montgomery, 11 rushes last week. Do you think that's maybe he's hurt, or do you think Ben Johnson just forgot he's on the sideline?
I guess. I don't know that he's hurt. I guess we'd find out today with a practice report if there's something on there. I hope he's not hurt, but yeah, last week, if I were to play a blame game, it's on Ben Johnson and Jared Goff. Jared Goff didn't have his best game, but then Ben Johnson kept putting in that situation to make those mistakes. So it's not, you can't really blame Jared if these guys keep dialing up the plays for him to, mess up. So Dave Montgomery, you see the ball more. You just won an overtime game. Running the ball, was it 9 out of 10 times, something like that? Like, yeah. What are we doing? That guy needs the ball. The only sole touchdown you had in that game was a Dave Montgomery touchdown. 1 out of 7 in the red zone, and those plays broke down. I think it was like 13 passes, 7 runs, and one of the runs was a Jared Goff option. David Montgomery needs a football in his hand, man. Let him wear this defense down. He's not fun to tackle. Anzalone say it.
So I got to ask you, when they call the option route or option play with Jared Goff, what were you thinking at that moment?
Go, go, go. No, honestly, I wasn't mad at it. It's no one's seen it coming, right? So it's like you're going to get they got the first down with it because no one saw it coming. And thank God, I think it was Laporta that was on that final block before he went out of bounds there too. So like he stayed safe. I don't want to call it too many times throughout the season, but if it's, no one's going to see it coming, I don't mind it, man. Kind of like they called that quarterback draw on us. It's like,
right.
What? Yeah, who saw that coming?
They did catch us napping on that one. So Tim Patrick, a lot of people have been wondering if, who's going to step into basically the Josh Reynolds role. How much upside do you think this guy has?
I think he's got tremendous upside. I am a little bit biased. Tim Patrick has saved a fantasy season of mine in the past, so definitely a big playmaker. And I think you go back and his quarterbacks were like Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater. Like they weren't the best, with all due respect to those gentlemen. But I think he's a guy that can make big plays for you. He made big plays for that team, and he outshined Jerry Jeudy and whoever the hell else, Cam Sutton. A bunch of guys are supposed to be, somebody's in the NFL. Tim Patrick outshined them. He's got that 6'4" frame, and once him and Goff get a little bit of chemistry, I think he'll be that Josh Reynolds role that people that I know that I miss. That big body guy you put in the red zone or at the Z or X.
All right, and the last question I got for you. This weekend's game, if you got a score prediction, I want you to give us your bold prediction for this weekend's contest.
That's tough, man. My score prediction last week was 31-24 Lions. Dang, score on the dial. Let me think, man. Hopefully his offense gets going and the defense remains the same. And we come home from Arizona with a W, 27-20. Is that fair? Does that sound crazy?
Lions win?
Lions win, yes.
Hey, man, win by 1, win by 1,000,000. I don't care, man. We as long as we get that win, I'm good. So one last thing that just popped in my head real quick. If you had to anticipate how the Lions are going to attack this Arizona Cardinals offense and try to slow it down, do you think they use more blitzing? Do you think they played more zone coverage? What would you do? You're Aaron Glenn. What are you doing to slow them down?
I think zone coverage would be the way, just because if you have if you're responsible for a zone and that quarterback does decide to run, you have somebody near or somebody responsible for that area of the field. I'm not going to say what I'm about to say, but one of the defensive linemen should be solely responsible for Kyler, I think, as well. put the responsibility on them. And to be honest with you, man, like I might have to just go back and watch the time we played them in 21 because remember they were red hot back then. They're like 12-4 Cardinals, and I think they're 11-4 or 11-3 or whatever it was, and they came into Ford Field and we put that fire out, and that was the worst version of this Detroit Lions team. So Aaron Glenn may have I guess an idea to stop Kyler, but then again, that's a different scheme, different coach, different system. But I'm gonna watch back and see what they did because Kyler Murray didn't do too much against us.
Mani Aware had a pretty good game that game, so it might have been his last good game in the NFL, though, unfortunately. So, all right, Easy, why don't you go ahead and give yourself a shout out to everybody where they can find you, your awesome work, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, man. Working with LNU now too, with all of us guys there. I think they want to start doing like some Thursday night or Friday night like pick'ems or get together for preview the game. We definitely got to get some Dan Thornton in there too. But I'm also on Woodward Sports from 5 to 7 p.m. or Eastern, I should say. Sorry, it's still early. Pretty much that's out of state. Check me out there. Just type in Woodward Heavyweights or woodwardsports.com, or we're live 5 to 7. And yeah, come check me out, man. At Speakeasy Sports is the Twitter.
All right. He is Easy. He's over at Woodward Sports. Go check him out. Give him a thumbs up. Give him a subscribe. Check out the channel. And Easy, I want to thank you for coming on in this morning and joining the Do Crew.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you. You kill it. You're grinding. And I respect everything you do, man. You're a beast.
All right. We'll see you on the next one, man. Well, I'm going to have to get a hold of you to get some fancy football tips because I think everybody in my starting lineup is out on the IR.
Oh, it sucks, dude. All right. I got you. I'm looking at you right now.
I got no quarterbacks, no running backs, no wide receivers left. So I do have a punter and a kicker. All right, Easy. We'll check you out.
I'll see you, brother.
All right. That was Easy from Woodward Sports. So I want to thank him for coming on over. Let's go back over to the Do Crew and see what you guys have to say real quick. Let's see. Sergeant Hale, good morning, Dan and all. Winning is not the be-all and end-all, exclamation point. Did you not see how our young Lions played at some of the spectacular plays they were made? Yeah, I liked where the team's going. Obviously, there's some stuff they still need to clean up. But let's also think about this. If you're really going to be in the race for the NFC or the NFC North, you can't fall too far behind. Right now, you're one game behind the Minnesota Vikings. All right, Phil, is there something more going on with the locker room? Question mark. Seems like this isn't a happy team. As far as I know, the team's happy, but if you got some thoughts on something or have heard something, Phil, let me know in the comment section. But as far as I'm aware right now, we're pretty good. Chuck E. Cheese, morning, Coach and Do Crew, back at you. Boo, let's see. Good morning, Dan and Do Crew. Don't underestimate the Cardinals. Going to be a tough game. Yeah, I agree. They can put a lot of stress on the defense. It will be interesting to me to see what AG does to slow down this Cardinals offense because, like we were saying with Easy and everybody else, it's a powerful offense. It's got a lot of speed and a lot of athleticism. You miss one or two tackles, you can give up some major yards. I'd say, Sarge, the game is to be entertainment. Also, gents, yes, you got to have fun watching it, 100%. Aylin Rose, good morning, Coach. Let's see, Coach Dan, crew, I have project due. Okay, well, hey, hopefully you have a good time with the project. All right, and good to see you this morning, by the way, Rose. Let's see, Pat. You are 100% right about Ben Johnson and not making adjustments. You know, I can only tell you what my eyes see. And by no means do you take anything I say as, the gospel or the truth or whatever. I just tell you what I pay attention to, especially as someone who goes around scouting. I pay attention to players. I pay attention to tendencies. So when you're doing that, usually you do watch what coaches do and how players respond to that. So paying attention to Ben Johnson and what he does at halftime and what other teams do to combat him, you usually took him last year about a quarter to make an adjustment. I thought in the first half, again, in between the first quarter and the second quarter, that time there, you would see some adjustments from both him and Aaron Glenn, like you do most coaches, where I think both him and Aaron Glenn, along with MCDC, still need to mature as coaches, is where you're doing that live in the quarters. So, hey, they come out, they switch their coverages halfway through the first quarter, second quarter, whatever. I already have an answer for that. To me, that usually comes the longer you've been coaching because you've seen that situation before. You already know how to handle that. You don't have to stop and think and try to figure out how to handle it. That's where I think Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn still need to do some improving. Ben Johnson, hopefully we see more and more production in quarter adjustments throughout the rest of the season. Detroit Zoo. Now I remember what I was going to ask, question mark. Do you think Dan Campbell made a mistake by not taking the ball at the beginning of the game? No, I mean, to me, I don't think there's a mathematical advantage one way or the other. That's the only thing I can say, Detroit Zoo. You're going to get the ball the same amount of times, irregardless. So to me, if you believe your defense can get stops, then go ahead and do that. Get the momentum, get the offense going, etc. To me, a lot of the I guess you say issues with the Lions right now, and it's only 2 games in, so I don't want to say anything's in a big worry, but this team does have a lot of offense weapons, and they've got to score more touchdowns. It's not just the Lions. It is around a lot of the league, but I'm only going to focus on the Lions. We got to handle our own business. Let the rest of the league worry about their own. Randy Q. Hey, Kurt, what do you think about that touchdown that I think that what in the last game when got to the end zone and did the boss up move? Did you adopt a video and put it on your startup? Yeah, Kurt, that's probably fair. When Dave Montgomery does the boss up move, you may want to incorporate that into your opening video. See, Hookadoo, and another thing, they really should start a few starters in preseason. You guys already know my thoughts on that. So, and again, I know I've had some good conversations with a lot of you guys. Some of you don't want it. That's okay. I'm only here to tell you what I would do as a coach and why I would do it. To me, use the Tampa Bay game as an example. That game ultimately is won on 2 or 4 plays. And I think if you play the guys, the first quarter and a half, first preseason game, first half of the second preseason game, you probably now have 2 to 3, maybe 4 plays go your way that didn't in that game. You probably get a win. Chuck E. Cheese must win. We would be 1-2 if we don't, and it could take 2 in a row to get to 3-2. That's tough. Yeah, and again, you're already down 1 game in the NFC North races. How far do you want to risk falling down? Again, the guys just got to go out there and perform. It's going to be a grind every game this year because you do have a first place schedule. I think we can do it. Let's see, Kurt, Randy Q, what up, though? Exclamation point. I love that boss up by Monty. We talked about it on today's show. Hey, enjoy it. Amy, good morning, Dan and the Duke crew. Exclamation points. Stand by your team. I agree with that, Amy. I think we need to look at the wider picture. Also, on the Saints, I think our power rankings was too low. Everyone have a great day. Fair enough. And I'll go with that. And you too, Amy. Have a good day. Phil, if the coaching doesn't improve, does anyone get let go? Question mark. Special teams has no excuse. Fair enough. I don't think yet. The season would really have to tank, I think, exponentially for them to fire anyone at this point. But maybe get to week 10 or so. Could there always be a change make if a group isn't performing well? It's possible. Randy Q, I'm there, my dog. Fair enough. Chuck E. Cheese, at least hopefully our D will keep us in games. I think our O will explode soon. I agree, too. The D's doing fairly well. Doesn't mean they've been perfect. They haven't been, but they've been pretty dang good. The offense, I think they're close. I do think they're pretty close to having a breakout game. Alien Rose, good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke crew. I project the Tigers to be in the playoffs. They are 1.5 games back, 11 games to go. Now I project the Lions to win 9 straight games in a row. This is what? All right, I'll take that. I like that prediction, Alien Rose, and hey, keep them coming. I like these predictions. JK, Ben Johnson needs to burn old playbook and insert a brand new playbook and general manager. Okay, that's an idea. Miles Mark, Coach, would you agree that this year our top coaches are becoming, quote, veterans? I'd consider them rookies the past 2+ years. They're getting to the point, where they start having more and more information, know how to handle things. I agree with that, Miles Marker. It's just, I can't evaluate them other than what I see on the field. That ultimately tells me where they have progressed and what they still need to do. And again, it's just my opinion. I'm not the know-all, be-all by any stretch of the imagination. Kim, is the season start of the offense, Ben Johnson not wanting to give away plays that he thinks he can win without? It's possible he could hold back plays. I would say, especially knowing what the Lions have this season, I wouldn't hold anything back. If you want to come up with some more gadget plays as the season evolves or trick plays or whatever, go ahead and do that. But go for wins. Get them now because you know what? Once they're gone, they don't come back. I'd see Johnny, what do you got? Hey, good morning, Johnny, by the way. Good morning, Coach and Duke crew. Exclamation point. I see a lot of Sam Laporta in the run game this week. I hope you're right. And Easy was right. There are some routes where he was missed last week. I get they're trying to incorporate Jameson Williams, get St. Brown going again like they did last week. It's a tough situation when you have so many stars. But I think once they figure that out, this offense is going to be explosive. Jane Doe, what's been wrong with special teams? Question mark. No TD returns. Let up kicker been great. Fake punt was executed perfect. Yeah, I'd say they've been performing pretty well. You haven't had any kick returns for touchdowns, whatever. You haven't given up anything. Haven't been any real big issues. So I concur. Ellen Rose talked to 97.1 The Ticket. They are very negative with our teams. They say Tigers will not be in the playoffs and the Lions are junk. And the window closed. I told them 9 home Lions will win easy. Yeah, I'll go with that. And hey, I don't know about their shows. I've seen a few of them. There's one guy, I can't remember his name. I watch him. He pops up on my YouTube fairly regularly. All I know is I'm usually a glass is half full kind of guy. We'll go with that. Eileen Rose, I like your optimism. Me too. I like to see that the sky is shiny, not falling. The running attack needs to be more consistent. The red zone needs to do better. I agree with that. I think you summarized that perfect. Doe, what do you got? Too much talent on this team across the roster. They don't just suck against that silly. Yeah, I think they're going to be fine. I think you're spot on with that. I think just give them a little time. They're going to be right as rain. Hopefully it starts this weekend. Kurt Steele, Lions are facing a tough offense this weekend, but I believe MC, DC, and AG will have them ready. Cardinals are facing a upset Lions team. I go with that. And I agree, Kurt. I agree. JK, who? Phil, easy. Phil, woo! Kurt, hey, I know that guy. Miles, laughing out loud. Easy, what up, Doe? Easy. Him, laughing out loud. Jane, Lions will rip 3 or 4 straight wins. I'll take that. I like that. Bo, I feel like easy morning. Yes, speaking easy, JK. Eric, good morning, Dan. Good morning, Eric, by the way. Miles, like Sunday morning. Ranted Q, we score 21, we win simple. This is true. Bo, come on, easy. There you go. Because I'm easy, yes. Let's see, Hookadoo, you caught that also a mile marker. Miles, wink. Phil, should St. Brown be held out to heal? Depends on what the injury is. Thomas, the O-line is the issue with the O. I would agree there's definitely some blame to be going there too, Thomas. Uncle Buzz, Broski, now Brian Brady, it could be. Thomas, smash the like. Yes, if you would hit the subscribe, hit the like button. Phil, it's not the loss, it's how the Lions lost. Fair enough. Chuck E. Cheese, morning easy. See you later on Woodward. Yes, Ranting Q easily said as every team are the best. They study their A. Yes, they do studying. JK, the defense keeps opponents at 20 points. Why can't we score at least 24, 27 points on offense? Geez, I think they will in time. They're trying to figure some things out, it would be my guess. William, I think they're unsure how to balance the offense, get everyone their touches. Yeah, there's probably a whole lot of truth to that, William. Good call. Thomas, exactly. I truly believe we're trying to be too cute on offense instead of realizing who we want to be. Throwing 55 times, that's not who we are. No, I agree with that. They've got to figure some things out. I think we're all on the same page with that. Teams will adjust 100%, Randy Q. Miles, Thomas, thank you for a reminder. Let's see, Kurt, Lions will adjust to adjustments. Let's hope they adjust to the adjustments of the adjustments. DM5, hopefully DC makes better decisions this game. Fake punt and get it 4th down and get it next 4th down punt makes no sense. Okay, we'll go with that for sure. Thomas, Terry Nolan is just fine. He's getting called for stuff because he's a rookie. Yeah, there's probably a lot of truth to that, Thomas. Later in the game against Tampa Bay, there were at least 3 more passes that looked like his penalties that weren't called. Yeah, probably true. Ranting Q, 97 is a dog. There you go. Let's see, Kurt, Ranting Q, that's our main topic this morning. All right. Miles Marker, please share, copy. You don't have to send it, but it still counts good for the channel. Thanks for that, Miles Marker. Don Burr, cards tight and Tret. Cards tight and Tret. Okay. And Don, don't forget to get a hold of me so I can get your information, by the way. Por favor. Let's see. Ellen Rose, Ben Johnson, there is unfinished business. Right? That's where he said, but Ben Johnson is trying to destroy the Lions' identity and make it the team looks bad. Trust me on this. All right? Well, I'll trust you on that. See, Miles Marker, the Trim Reaper, like that name you used, made me laugh. Very good. Let's see, Chuck E. Cheese, we're going west. It's always tough to win out west. I concur. I do like the fact that the time zone there is later in the day versus earlier in the day. I think it's tougher on West Coast teams coming this way. Randy Q, Kurt, our defense, I'm proud of a massive improvement. Yes, they've improved exponentially. Cards, Donberg, Cards, tight end, Terry Mega could use some problems, cause some problems. There we go. DM5, Don Burr, exactly. Thomas, I'm going to be hated for this, but I do not see us beating the Cardinals. I hope you're wrong, my friend, and hopefully you understand why I hope you're wrong. See, Kurt Steele, find the all-22 on Hutchins sacks. His improved pass rush, incredible. Yeah, and I would also say, if you watch him, he's taking more of a wide 9 stance this year. He's putting a lot of stress on tackles right or left because they have to get back so much further. He's using that to help, in my opinion, set up his spin move, which is one of the best in the NFL. So if you guys get a free opportunity today, go check out how Hutch is lining up. It's going to hurt him in the run defense, but on obvious passing downs, he's getting out incredibly wide and putting a lot of stress on tackles. JK put Reader to toe towards Hutch to contain Murray. Could be. Boo, I agree. Need to get back to the run game. After all, it's how we beat the Rams into the end. Agreed. Let's see, JK with O-line push. Oh, go with that. Let's see, Kurt, Thomas Doe, and why not? Thomas, you can't spy Kyler Murray with a defensive lineman. You'd be like a 3-year-old covering your dad. Oh, there could be a lot of truth to that. JK, hello, Kurt. JK, all right. Thomas, hey, Kurt, I'm not saying we cannot, but the way we're playing right now, we can't. Cardinals are on fire, and we're going to be in Game 3 with question marks. Okay. Kurt Steele, I don't see the Lions not beating easy. Fair enough. Let's see. DM5, set the tone early. Run, physical, and toughness, then set up play action. I'm all on board with that, man. I think that would be the best scenario. Kurt Steele, exactly. Phil, double negative. Kurt, you caught that. DM5, Lions 23, Cardinals 21. I'll go. Hey, just win, baby. Thomas, we got 4 problems on offense: the head coach, the offensive coordinator, and the offensive line, and Goff. And I love Jared Goff, but for whatever reason, we are not in sync. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's got to get figured out. Phil laughing. Kurt Steele, Dimitri Stewart. What up, Doe Flintstone? Bo, DM5 is a thumbs up. Kurt Hookadoo. There are a lot of it's on that game. What if Gibbs doesn't accidentally step out of bounds, TD, and so on? It was a team loss, coaching on down. Yeah, I agree with that. There's a lot of things we could have done differently. Dimitri, 17-26, Detroit. Let's go. I'll take that, man. As long as we win, I'm happy. Thomas, when you have David Montgomery in the backfield and it's third down and the 3-yard line and you throw the ball, what the heck was that? That's a question I can't answer. Miles, thanks, easy. Phil, cool. Lions Nation Unite, easy. There you go. Bo, clean up a few things and we win. Agreed. Hookadoo, thanks, easy. Have Dan give you a wake-up call. Might have to give him a wake-up Mountain Dew. The Trim Reaper, have a good day, Coach and Dew Crew. Woo! And have a great day too, my friend. Hopefully it's a good one. See, the Rams there were way more beat up when they played the Cardinals than they were when they played Detroit. Cardinals took advantage, and they were supposed to do. Yes, they did a great job with that. Don Burr, Minnesota plays Houston Sunday. If they beat Houston after beating the 49ers, it's real down there. 100% with that. 100%. Pat, I think easy bit, not WW. They exact a lot of reality great people to go. They let a lot of good people go. Okay. Thomas, also, huge issue for me is the last series inside the 25. We have 3 ball catches, 6'3" or taller. Put them in the game and throw the ball their end zone. Yeah, I agree. I was surprised we didn't take more shots at the end zone. Let's see. Speak easy like a Wednesday morning. There you go, my friend. And thanks again for being on the show. Bo, you caught that easy. Let's see. Kurt, hump day, baby. There you go. Don Bird, Detroit issue in red zone. We are 3-11 in the last 2 weeks in the red zone. You have to score points down there, and a field goal is points. Take them. Yes, I would take them. Speak DM5, Speak Easy Sports. What up, my guy? Moonscar Don Burr, agree 100%. Kurt Steele, Speak Easy Sports. we touch on our live yesterday on today's Boss Up Ball Out podcast. Okay, Thomas, with our defense holding teams to 20 points, we should win every game with the offense we're supposed to have. Yes, we just need to get the offense going. JK, I meant good morning. My bad. It happens, man. It happens. Chuck G's, it's way too early to talk about firing people. It's the NFL. Any given Sunday, I'm riding to the end. Yeah, I'm with you on that, sir. Speak easy. Yes, sir. Let's see. Chuck G's. Yeah, see y'all. Yeah, on Woodward. Easy. There you go. Dimitri, Don Bird, Detroit. What up, though? Chuck Cheese, heavyweights, shout out. There you go. Thomas Ben Johnson's. Yes, I hate to say it, but it and Goff are getting too cute on offense. Start trying to outthink and just play football. Yeah, just keep it easy. Keep it basic. Let's see. Don Bird, Flintstone. Yes, Dimitri Flintstone. Gerald, what do you got? It may be a good thing we have an early bye week to review the game plans. I think you're spot on with that. It might end up being beneficial to us. Phil, the only team getting calls from the refs is KC. Refs are controlling outcomes. The calls are so blatant, I have to wonder. Yeah, nothing wrong with wondering about it, my friend. Nothing wrong with that at all. Ken, good morning. Danny and the Dew Crew. If people are jumping ship already, they aren't real fans. Those that know ball are still here. Too much talent on this team to panic. One pride. Woo! And good morning to you too, Ken. Dimitri, Don Burr, where you been, bro? There you go. Hey, he's right here. Chuck E. Cheese, realistically, Tigers are 3 out because of the game in hand and tiebreakers both to the mini. Okay. Don, Dimitri just took a break. All right. Kurt Steele, see you guys over the Boss Up Ball Out podcast. Yeah, we got to get you guys over there. I know I'm running overtime here. Phil, we see a change in preseason. First team reps needs reps. That's what I would do. You guys know my thoughts on that. Bo, happy trails to y'all. Done dusted. See y'all tomorrow. We'll see you then, Bo. Chuck E. Cheese, I don't like going in pass formation on third and short, at least shotgun. Correct. Phil, welcome back, Don. Moonscar, our offense is ranked second in yards, second in passing yards, 9th in rushing yards at 151 per game. We've put up more points. D keeps holding. Team's training will be fine. I agree with that. Great. Well said, Moonscar. Phil, getting that wrench done? Yes, indeed. Dimitri, Don Burr, got you, bro. Moonscar, Don Burr, put a comment up in the post, shows comments here. Gerald, I think the buy will be helpful too. Me too, Miles Marker. See, Phil, Moonscar, congrats on the wrench. Moonscar, Phil, thanks. Just I'm here to monitor you and Kurt. There you go. Randy Q, 35-16. We have to adapt. There, I'll go with that, Randy Q. Phil, just a lot of support and content creator. He makes the rules, okay? Brent, happy trails. Go one pride. Trim Reapers, smash that like button, everyone. Por favor, hit the subscribe, hit the like button. Hooky Doo, happy trails. All done. See you tomorrow. Phil, have a great day. Ledger, away. Stay in the green. Detroit Zoo, I don't care if I am on an island, but I think Lions should throw 55 times the next time they face the Bucs with via plan. That's how you put 40 on them. Passing game just needs to gel. I could, yeah, just get them going. Miles, happy trails. Thanks, Dan. Great show. Thanks for that, man. All right, guys, I'll go ahead and get out of your hair. If there's some sort of breaking news there, I'll get it over to you as quick as possible. If you would be so kind, hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button. We'll see you all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.
Happy trails to you until